morning. Welcome to Cider House Crafts. My name is Jen. Today is April 27th, 2020. Hi, how are you? Happy birthday to my sister. Yeah, it's very sunny here in the northwest of England, and it's been sunny for the last few days. Lots of things are getting done around the house and things, and I know that it makes people more anxious and they really want to get out and they just wish all this stuff was over, but you need to stay home and stay safe. Yeah, there's been a lot of religious holidays happening, and we had Easter, and there's some Jewish holidays happening, and there's an Islamic holiday happening right now. But for the sake of my husband and other people like him, I would ask you, please don't congregate. You know, don't go to temple with a bunch of other people. Don't go to mosque with a bunch of other people. Just don't. I mean, it's really weird. It was really weird for us to celebrate Easter the way we did. But gathering is not a good idea, and not for you and not for your community at large. So yeah, please stay home. I'm really sorry. Not as sorry as I was about my Easter, but there you go. So stay home, stay safe, yeah. I'm having just coffee this morning. As usual, I have a whole notebook and a pen somebody gave me from Scotland this morning. This is my sweet little notebook. I'll just show you this quickly. This is my grandson from 2014. God, he's so tiny. It's weird. Anyway, so my little notebook says I have a lot of knitting. I have some crafts, regular crafts. I have some sewing. I have whips sewing, and I have finished sewing, and I have future sewing because I've refilled my little bucket under the desk with projects. I have cast on some new things for my knitting, by the way. Cross stitching hasn't happened this week because I've had some pretty bad headaches, so that it sort of compounds it with my eyes. The way it is, knitting isn't great, but it's not as bad as cross stitching. So there isn't any cross stitching, I'm afraid, this week. There's a little bit of shifty shopping though. Yeah, but I did tell my husband I did it, so that's okay. Anyway, right. Well, what else do I have to tell you? Anything else before we start? Oh, yes. I trimmed my own hair. So I give myself a cut. So I shorten it up. And I give myself some fringe just to change things up. I am not a professional hair cutter by any stretch of the imagination. But, yeah, I did it. It's done. I feel better. Change is good. I got some of my summer decorations out, and I put my wreath on the front door, and it's lit, and it's like a wreath of daisies and foliage, and to make things more summery. And I put my summer wreath on my fireplace rest, which really made a difference. I got my winter one down finally because the weather's been so sunny and bright. Lots of things are getting done. Ian's been so busy this weekend. He's done so much, and yeah, so it's been busy around the Bolton house. Right. Well, I guess we should kick things off with the knitting. Sorry, I'm going to keep looking at my notebook. I hope everybody's okay, by the way. I hope you're all well and you're all right. And I shall be getting to my email again today. Kimberly, you know who you are. Oh, coffee's so good, isn't it? Right, so the first thing I'm going to show is not my shifty shopping. My shifty shopping isn't actually done. There will be more shifty shopping next week because I ordered a couple of things, but one already arrived, and the other one has been shipped, so it should be here soon. So, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is in this little bag right here, and this is a new cast on for my sister-in-law. I think I showed you the wool for this last week. These are a pair of socks, and they're being knit with Knit Picks Felici in the Limeade colorway. Sorry, this is the discontinued colorway. Here, maybe if I shut this light off here, y'all can see it better. If it doesn't get washed out by the sun. Okay, so, ooh, there is a thread on that. Oh my goodness, there was a thread on that. So that's what it looks like. Now it's about to get blown out by the light, but it is called Limeade Special Reserve. Yeah. It's all special. Anyway, I am using one of my bags from, I don't know, Pets. I can't remember the name of the movie, to be honest with you. I'm knitting these toe up on 2.5 carbons, newsprint carbons, and yeah, cast on 18 stitches on each needle with magic loop, and knit to 30, and I start my knitting. And this is what it looks like so far. Oh, I wish the sun wasn't blowing it out as much as it is, but it is, so we can't do anything about it. Anyway, that is the sock so far. There's not a lot of color difference between these two sections right here, as you can see. I'm a little disappointed in that, to be honest with you, but there you go. I think I'm at 50 some rows now. So I've got to knit to 9.5 inches. Not sure how many rows is left for that. These are for my sister-in-law, Jillian. So yeah, there you go. Oh, you know what I said? When I watched my video last week, I said I was going to move closer to the camera because they seemed to be very far away last week, and it didn't look well. So I'm going to come closer. There we go. There we are. Very good. So I'm really enjoying that knit, only because I really like Felici, basically because you're like, it's very motivational wool, if that makes sense. You really want to get to the next row because you want to see the next color and what it looks like, even when you've already done a full repeat. So there we go. So those are those. I shall continue on with those. And there we are. Next is my socks that I've been showing for the last few weeks. This is my own hand-dyed yarn. It's called Vintage Patriot. If I get my face out, maybe it will focus. There we go. I love these freaking colors. I don't think anybody else in my life likes these colors except for me. Toes and heels are being done with Knit Pick Stroll in the Dogwood Heather colorway. There we go. Again, this is a toe-up sock on 2.5mm needles, carbons. I have to be very careful because I'm in the middle of turning the heel. So it's going to be kind of difficult to show this sock. Let me try to get it in right side out. Sorry, I'm not very well prepared for this. But you come around there. But being in the middle of the heel isn't the best time to show a pair of socks, really isn't. Come on. Right, so this is how this is knitting up so far. And like I said, I am turning the heel right now. So I use a German short row heel pattern that I got from Knit Pearl Hunter. She's fantastic, by the way, so if you don't know her, she's on YouTube. She's got excellent tutorials. She's one of those people who you don't see her face. She just does the tutorial and that's it. She's done. And it's really good because if I'm trying to learn a new thing or, you know, sort of in the middle of something, I just want it. I'm just impatient and immature and I just want it done. So she's really good from my perspective. That's really good. But anyway, so that's what that's looking like so far. I'm really anxious to have these socks because I like them very much. I don't have a whole lot to say about them any more than I had to say about my sister-in-law socks. Other than I like to knit socks. Lots of people like to knit socks. So next thing, let's see here. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the Indian paintbrush. Whoops! Lost my bookmark. Indian paintbrush shawl. It is designed by Vera Sanin. And here's a photograph of that shawl. Said shawl. It's not showing the instructions. There we go. Now, I got as far as I could get. Whoops. With this, because I needed a whole lot of stitch markers. And I had enough, but not the way that Vera said you should have them. In other words, you had to have 2 sets, and those sets needed to match. Sorry, my bag seems to be giving me a little bit of trouble. So, I'm going to show this to you guys in all its weirdness. But I might show you my shifty shopping while I show you this. So I am knitting this shawl with Knit Pick Stroll Gradient in See You Later. Oops, Jenny. Did that last week too, didn't I? Come on. There we go. See you later. And that is what that looks like. So it is a lovely gradient. And let me see if I can hold it up so you can see how it's looking so far. The white stripe that you see is row 37 Lifeline, because I learned my lesson with the exploration station, which isn't dead, by the way. We're just working on our skill set. So anyway, so where you see these right here, these are all good. These are the set that I had. Now they aren't all the same color, but they are all the same style. And when I had to split out to use other ones, if you notice this one, this is a zombie. A dead zombie. Come on, focus. It doesn't want to because it can see my face back there. There we go. So yeah, so they don't match. And all the way over here, I've used a mushroom and a donut. But I went on to Etsy because I was getting so confused and so tired of not being able to just like quickly move across. And the pattern's a little complicated in and of itself, the way it's written. It's not a bad pattern, it's just a little complicated. So I went on to Etsy and I went to, give me 1 second, sorry. And I will put her logo here. And I bought now these, which are unicorn tears. And they are little stitch markers, and they are pearlescent, and they are absolutely lovely. So I don't know, the picture probably showed them better. Yeah, that's what they look like. So they're not all the same color, but again, their makeup is distinctly different than the other one. I tend to gravitate towards stitch markers that have the little silver ball on the bottom. The little square clipped ones that seem to be clamped down tend to catch my knitting. Could be just the way I knit. But yeah, so I'm not too keen on them, so I got those. And I love them, and it was so fast. I mean, I would recommend visiting her shop anyways, because her prices are way reasonable. Obviously, the quality of her work is excellent. And she ships, like, the next day, same day, whatever. And I was like, oh, I'm so pleased I'm going back there. So I favorited her shop. So, RoseyRetro on Etsy. Please visit her. You're good. Thank you. Okay. So, the next thing we're going to show, is from the Harry Potter Knitting Magic book. And this is, we're knitting Hedwig right here. I'll show you a better picture of the feathers. Okay, I see here. So I have done all of the tail feathers. And there's Hedwig. There we go. Oh, handsome thing. So I've done all the tail feathers, and I am now working on the feet. And I know I'm going to jinx myself here, but this project seems to get, the directions seem to make me happier and happier as I go along, because they're not, it's just so clear. It's so clear. I am knitting this with a Wool in the Gang Aran Weight cotton. The color I'm using right now is called White Noise. And the next color is called 101 Spots. Oh. And yeah. So It's still inside out. I can't turn it right side out, but as you can see, I have all of the tail feathers now. It looks like a white glove. Those are all the tail feathers, and I have finished one leg and figured out that I need to pick stitches up in a different way, because I'm going to have to do some, as you can see, I've got some gaps there. There's a gap. I'm going to do some duplicate stitching to cover that gap. But, so it's really hard to tell right now, but this is, okay, so there's the tail feathers sticking out the back, and this is one of the legs right here. This right here, this one of the legs. I'm knitting these on Knitter's Knit Picks Majestics. I think it's a 4 US. It's a 3.5 millimeter needle, and I know you can't really see his body very well, but this will be his front. And I'm still deciding whether I'm going to put his head facing forward or if I'm going to have his head turning to the side like it shows in the picture. But we will decide that later. The other thing I need to do is find my black wool, because I need some black to knit feet up. And I don't have them. So, you know what? I can spin some. I have black. I can spin some up and knit the feet. But yeah, and that is being held in a bag by Sprite966. That's Helen Duffin. She is on the Etsy's. So I think that is all the knitting. Oh, it isn't. I lied. It isn't all the knitting. Ta-da! Happy St. Patrick's Day. So I made this giant bag and it never sold. So I'm using it for my miter square blanket, because guess what? I put some squares in after a freaking year. So I'm going to show you the 2 squares that I put in my miter square blanket, and then I'm going to put a stitch marker on it so I can keep showing you, because to be honest with you, it was a joy to put some squares in. So I think I showed you the whole blanket last week, but I'll just go across very quickly with it. Oh, there we go. There's one section. There's another section. And these are the 2 squares that I put in. Now, the blue one, I have no idea what that is. It was a gift mini skein from a friend in America. And so I don't know what that is, and there was no tag on it, but it's really lovely. And then this, you will recognize, is that, that sock yarn. Oh, God, what's the name of that sock yarn? Anyway, it's that ABC sock yarn. What the frig? I can't remember the name of it. I'm really sorry. Somebody's screaming at me right now, going, Jenny. Jenny. Anyway, there you go. Anyway, it made a really cute square. So yeah, so the next thing I have up is this lovely purple single ply wool that's very lavendery. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera. That's the next one. Very light lavender. And again, these are on 2.5 millimeter bamboos that I bought for the cheap on eBay, I think. I got a whole set of them, and then they were just, like I said, they were cheap, and they don't work very well. It's probably my fault. I probably just didn't do something right or whatever. But yeah, so that's that. And I have a whole bag of mini skeins in here that I could have been knitting on it with, but I haven't. So instead of thinking of it in terms of squares in my blanket, I'm going to think of this in terms of using up all my minis. That way I have a reason to buy more. Naughty me. Anyway, yes, now that is all the knitting. I'm going to take a break here very quickly, and we are going to talk about crafts. And one, you caught me looking. Yeah, so let's talk about crafts very quickly because this is starting to carry on from that. So, first things first, I don't know if this counts as crafting, but I made a couple masks for us. First one is mine, obviously. Stars, stripes. So I got a free pattern off the internet. I think it was just like a general pattern. I don't even know whose pattern it was, to be honest with you. But yeah, I made a couple masks yesterday. They fit really well. And they cover. So there you go. My mask, Ian's mask, because I wanted him to look, wanted him to look like a bandito. So there's still some strings on Ian's, but I'll clip them off after. But yeah, so those are the two masks that I made yesterday. I used some scrap fabric that I had, and there you go. So keep us safe and healthy. I just wanted to show this. I still haven't done these leaves. I need to get the orange thread back onto the machine and finish the leaves and get this done this week, which will be one of the things I write down this morning. My skeleton is on. It's had a first coat of looks a bit ragtag right now, but it'll look better when I get done. And is it glowing in the dark? Why, yes it is. Thank you, sir. It needs to be drilled down a bit more. As you can see, some of the pencil is sticking up, but so it needs the bottom drilled down a bit more, and yeah, but it does glow in the dark. So I think I'll use my husband's, I don't know what you call that little Dremel, to drill that out. This is the paint that I got on Amazon for this. It is Artcraft Glow in the Dark. It's supposed to be fabric paint, but yeah. Sorry, can you see that? Is that focusing? There we go. And it's made here in the United Kingdom, which I've been specifically looking for. So yeah, so that's all for the crafting this week. Hello again. Sewing. So finished objects for sewing. I have 3 sewing finished objects. One of them that I'm wearing. If any of you have been watching my videos over the last year or so, you will know that I have a baseball t-shirt made out of this fabric with, and the sleeves are black, and then it's this flower, which is a cotton jersey. It's quite not a super heavyweight, but it's not lightweight jersey. Anyway, I had some of that left, and I thought I'm gonna make myself a top. And I really had been looking on Pinterest at different collars and things, you know, just to make changes. And I saw this 1950s type of collar and went, oh my god, I just love that. Oh, it's really good. So I made, again, using Quick Sew, K2836. Use this shirt pattern again. This thing is getting a lot of love. In fact, you know, I'm glad I made a copy. So I took the pattern itself. I don't know if I've ever showed this. I took the pattern itself, which is a heavyweight paper pattern, which is probably good. And that looks like that. There you go. I took that, and I took my own tracing paper, my sewing tracing paper, so pattern tracing paper, and I traced the size that I wanted so I could make some more should the need arise. So as I get smaller, I will, sorry about the crinkling, I will continue to, what have I done here? It's like folding a map. I will continue to trace patterns into smaller and smaller sizes. So I did that, and I also put things in a note like the setting for the hem, which is always going to be 1 inch, the needle position on my machine and what I do, the length of the stitch that I'm always using. The edge of the foot is my guide, so I'm using needle position 3, which is center, and I'm using the edge of the foot. I believe that's a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And to get my hems, I'm rolling twice. So if you can see that there, I've rolled that over twice. Anyway, so I'm keeping that right with the pattern, so I know what I've done in the past that's worked. Because I've had a few goes, and yeah, to be honest with you, I think in future I'm going to change that and make that bottom hem 1 inch wide so it's a little bit deeper. But yeah, I really like this fabric. The top's lovely. Here, I'm really close, so if I stand up, you can see it a little bit better. But yeah, so bat wings. It's just a really nice functional top, and to be honest with you, I've worn this and washed it twice since I made it last week. It's just really comfortable, and I like the way it looks. So yeah, so that's one thing. The next thing is, if you remember, week before last, I made this top out of this scuba fabric. Remember this top? Well, I got busy yesterday because I was going through my scrap fabric. Obviously, I've been going through scrap fabric this week, and leftovers. And what I did was, don't mind the tag in the back because it's just a piece of the fabric, but just so I knew. They're a little bit baggy on me because they're kind of huge. I spilled coffee on them coming up the stairs this morning. And one hem's, and you tell which hem was done correctly and which one was done incorrectly. But yeah, so I made some scuba shorts with it. They kind of are falling off me because I made them a little bit way too wide. But this was another trace pattern from a pair of shorts that I had ages ago before I started losing weight. So I'm going to have to take them in, but that's fine. Yeah. So I think I'm going to pause here for a second, and I'm going to get Hagrid to come on in. So, hey Hagrid, can you come over here please? Copy and Ellie. So, Hagrid has a string hanging out. Hagrid is wearing McCall's M7116. That pattern I was talking about. I was waiting for the elastic for this. I have some mixed feelings about this, so let's talk about the results. So I am pleased with the result. The dress, I am pleased with it. Everything came out really well. I mean, it still needs to be pressed and things, but I mean, it came out like it was supposed to. Sorry, spaghetti straps. Never made them before in my life. Yeah. So the back, I didn't think was supposed to swoop like that, but it is. I didn't think it was, but I looked at other people's, and yeah, it pulls up when you put it on, I guess. I did wear it, but I didn't really turn around in the mirror and look at myself. I went downstairs, showed my husband, and yeah. The fit is perfect. It's fine. I really would like to wear this, but it's not warm enough yet. And the fabric looks lovely. The fabric looks lovely. What I do want to discuss is the fabric and the pattern. So, unless you have a giant quilting table where you enjoy being on your hands and knees on the floor, this is not a pattern for you. This pattern required 2 skirt pieces, the front and the back, and they were too large for my sewing table, to be cut on my sewing table. And because the fabric was so light and flimsy, it slipped a lot. And it made it really difficult to cut it, and I couldn't use my rotary cutter because I had to do it on the floor. And yeah, it just wasn't a good, and it wasn't, I mean, I'm not big on cutting things out anyway. It's not my favorite part. My favorite part is sewing. But I enjoyed this a lot less than other things, if you know what I mean. I mean, if I could design a skirt where I could cut the skirt on the fold, because you couldn't with this one, based on the shape of the skirt piece, it swooped down lower in a spot than it did in the other one, and I'm not sure why, because of this all is very, yeah, so it seems to fade away on both sides. Fade isn't the word I want to do. Gradiate to the side. So I'm not sure why I couldn't have put it on a fold. But I will say, if there's no fix for that, I won't be making this dress again, although I love it. It has a side zipper in it, and that came out fine. The directions were fairly clear. Although, to be honest with you, the side zipper stopped about 3 inches below the pit, your armpit, the top of the fabric, so it was inset in the fabric, and to be honest with you, I don't see any reason for that. So if I were to make this again, if I were to redesign this, the zipper would actually go all the way up, or I would redesign it and not put a zipper in it all and use like a stretch fabric like this, like a jersey fabric to make it, because that would be really nice in jersey as well, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, I adore the fabric. I love the moths and the bees, and I don't think it looks horrible. I think it came out okay. So I have to order some white heavy jersey like this to make the top that goes underneath it, but I'm going to get to learn some new skill sets from that, because I'm going to do cap sleeves instead of, you know, longer sleeves like this. Good Lord, I got a lot of bruises. But yeah, so that's how that came out, and I really appreciate the fact that Hagrid took this time out of his very busy schedule to show us that. Thank you, Hagrid. Every time this fades in, I'm drinking coffee. I don't have a problem. Okay, so, I must bring this here. Right, so as I said, I've been going through my scrap fabric and trying to get things done, and I ran back across this Simplicity pattern, which is 4127. It is a little top that I said I was going to make to sleep in, and just make some gotchas for underneath, or some short shorts to sleep in. Yeah, so I was really anxious about doing this in cotton, basically because of my size. And I want to make sure I get the bust size right, because I have to size up this pattern, which means I have to trace it and resize it for my bust. And I went into my cupboard and I found that top that I made in this purple stretch knitty stuff. I had like a load of this left. So I have that big piece, I have that piece, I have this big piece, I have all of this left, right? So, and I really liked it, and I thought, well, you know what, I made a shirt out of it, so let's just try it for this. And then, because even though it's stretch, and this is made with some cotton, I think if I make it with a stretch, and it doesn't stretch after I resize it, you know, when I put it on, that I'll be quite pleased with that, and then I can go ahead and make it with the fabric that I actually chose for it, which I might very well have put away. Yes, I put it away, but I'll show you that when I get ready to make it. But yeah, so again, it's Simplicity 4127, and I will be making view F with the little flouncy sleeves. So yeah, so that is that. So scrap fabric used up and not wasted and hurting the environment. And then in my little box of, ooh, what am I going to be sewing? There is more scrap fabric. So here, oh God, I'll just put it down. So I have this shorts pattern that I got, right? Shorts pattern pajamas. They're called, it's the free PJ shorts pattern and tutorial, and that is at Naptime Creations on Tinternet. It's one of those ones where you print it out and you tape it together. And so I had some of this green fabric left over. And I thought, oh yeah baby, I'm going to be using that up. So I'm going to make some nap time shorts out of that. And then I thought, I have a lot of that. What can I do? And I thought, I can make myself a kimono sweater out of the rest of it. So I can actually get a pair of shorts and a kimono sweater. This is supposed to be done with, you know, like a rayon-y, very flowy fabric. But I thought, that would make a nice sweater. And that would make a nice sweater, you know, just to wear around the house. So that's what's happening with that green. Green fabric. And then, last but not least, I bought myself from Craft Mills on sale this sort of nautical chambray, which I really, really like. And I had a project in mind, and then I realized that I did not have the yardage that I needed. So instead, I'm going to be making McCall's, and this was a free pattern in Love Sewing magazine. The M7547, I'm making UC. They are overall shorts. I don't know if you can see them very well. There we go. There we go. So I'm going to be making UC, and there we go. I'm not going to buy the buckles. I'm actually just going to put buttons on, but I think that'll look really cute. So those are my projects for this week as far as sewing goes. There we go. If my head stops hurting, I will be making sure that I get some cross stitch done for this week. I'm actually going to pull out a new cross stitch because I'm boredless with everything I've got going right now. So I'm going to pull out a really pretty autumnal cross stitch that I have here, which already has all of the threads with it. It was something I bought off eBay. It was an entire kit, and somebody was just like purging themselves of all of their cross stitch things, and it had never been opened. And yeah, so I'll be showing that next week. I'm trying to think what else is going on. That's about it. Yeah, there'll be more mask making. A friend of mine in New York has asked me if I can make her some masks with paw prints, and I don't believe I have any paw print material, but I might have some scrap of that does have teeny tiny paw prints with the teeny tiny dogs. So if I do have scrap material with that on, I will make her a mask with that. Anyway, right, I guess that's it for today. Again, I hope everybody's okay and you're enjoying a little bit of springtime in your back garden or your balcony, or if you go for your half-hour walk outside, that, you know, you're enjoying the weather and you're staying right in your mind. Some people aren't staying right in their mind. They live with me. Joking. Anyway, yeah, I don't have a lot to say. There's not a lot going on. But, yeah, I'm gonna go. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next week. Bye.